Today we're going to create these cute and adorable pillow box stockings using the tags and trimming stamp set and the coordinating dies. So without further ado, let's get stamping. Hi everyone, it's me, Tara, coming to you from thecraftsurgeon.com. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. So I have something really awesome planned. So as you can see here, these are some cute little pillow boxes that I created using one of the stamp sets and the framelit dies from the new 2017 holiday catalog. So if you are interested in seeing what else we offer in our 2017 catalog, I did a catalog tour and I'm going to link that down below in the comment section or in the description box. But as promised, I said that I was going to show you guys how I created these cute little treat pillow boxes. So if you look here, look how cute this, look how adorable this thing is. Y'all see this? So when you open it up, you could put gift cards and little treats in here just to give to someone as a gift, or to hang on your tree, or to hang up on your fireplace. These little things are too adorable. All right, so I'm going to show you exactly how I piece these together. There are a few tutorials out there on how to put them together, but I figured that I would try to do one as well. So where can you find this? If you have a physical catalog or you have a PDF, a catalog PDF, you can actually find this on page 15. And if you watched my catalog tour, you will know that this is one of my favorites. I have maybe like one or two favorites out of this catalog. This one is, as soon as I saw it, I was like, hey, I gotta buy this. So it's called the Tags and Trimming Stamp Set, and here are the Trim Your Stocking Thinlet dies. And you can actually purchase this in a bundle and you can save 10%, which is what I took advantage of. So if you notice here, there's two options. You can create the stocking pillow box, or you can create a regular pillow box. And if you look here, there's some cute little designs that they use as well. So page 15 of the holiday catalog. All right, so the pictures in the catalog don't do it justice, so I'm going to actually show you in person what these things look like. All right, so here's the case for the Tags and Trimming Stamp Set. It comes with 3 sentiments and quite a few images in this set. How cute is that, right? I love the little snowflakes, and I really love the sentiments in the set. And it coordinates with, of course, the thinlet dies. You see this? Oh, I got something on there. These things are too cute, too stinking cute. All right, so if you notice here, you have the 2 big dies. So if you wanted to do a regular pillow box, you would cut out 2 of these. I'm not doing that today. I did create one already, but I really wanted to show you how to do the stocking one. So for the stocking one, you're only going to need these 2 pieces. You're going to need one of these and one of these, which I have here. And then if you look really closely, there's a lot of other little dies on here that you can use to embellish your stocking. Look how cute that is. You see the little stitched framelits here? There's a little heart, a little star. I love the little bell. You can probably use some foil paper to create a little bell out of this. And then you have the trims, you have the toe, or excuse me, yeah, the toe, and you have the heel part. And then this little piece right here is used to poke a hole in the top if you wanted to feed some ribbon or twine through. And there's a cute little snowflake as well. This one, I'm not sure what this is. It looks like a Lego. I haven't figured out what this is for. So when I got this set, Stampin' Up! Did not send out directions on how to create it. So it took me a lot of trial and error to try to figure out how this bad boy works. So for the purpose of this video, I have only cut out the pieces, the main pieces that you're going to need to create this stocking. So first and foremost, the types of adhesives you're going to need for this. I found that the Tombow glue works best when you're creating when you're gluing on your little pieces like your trims and all that kind of stuff. But then for the actually assembling the pillow box, what I found to work the best was the tear and tape. I tried fast fuse, but it kept coming undone. But tear tape has been amazing with this project. You're also going to need your bone folder. Okay, so there are a few like score lines that you're going to have to score on this project. So let's go ahead and let me show you exactly how I pieced this together. Now, lesson learned, what you would want to do is you want to decorate, do all of your embellishing before you put it together. I repeat, decorate it first and then put it together. Lesson learned. So, all right. So the first thing when I say decorate, here we go. We're going to put our little pieces onto our stocking piece first. We're going to decorate that first. So this color, I'm using Smoky Slate cardstock. And then I'm using the Cherry Cobbler cardstock. And I'm using my Tombow glue just to get really, really good into those little corners. You want to make sure you get really good in those corners because you don't want to have it peeling up. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I didn't show you this, but on each one of these pieces there are some score lines. You see that? So on the stocking there's a curved score line up here, and then on this piece you see that there's quite a few score lines. So this is the top, and how you can tell that it has this little notch cut out of it, and then you have the score lines along the side, and then you have another, I don't know if you can see this one, but another score line here is curved, and then you have a little score line here with this little flippy floppy thing right here. So on your stocking piece, I am using the score line as a guide to put this little the top of the cardstock on it. So another thing real quick, you notice that there are going to be some stitched lines on these pieces. One thing to remember is to have the stitch lines going towards the end part of the card, or end part of the cardstock, or the center of your stocking. So they're going to be facing to the center. And the reason why I love using Tombow glue on this is because you can move it. It gives you a little bit of leeway, so if you put it in the wrong position, you can always manipulate it and move it. So there's that piece. Now the way I can tell which piece is the heel, I got a little bit of glue stuck on my project grid. But one way you can tell which piece is which is the little piece is for the heel and the bigger piece is for the toe. And once again, if you look really close, you'll see those stitch lines. Those stitch lines along the edge, they go towards the center of the stocking. So like I said earlier, you want to decorate first, you do all your stamping first, and then you start gluing all these pieces down. It's just easier that way. So when you're attaching the heel and the toe, you want to make sure that you have the edges flush against the stocking part. So if you look really closely, my dies, they actually put like an embossed line on here, but I'm not using that as a guide for the heel and the toe. So you just want to make sure that it's pushed all the way to the edge. All right, and there you have it. Okay, so now that we're done with decorating our stocking piece, we're going to now assemble it. Now, one thing that I came to find out is that, for example, for this one, I use designer series paper. Now, you can use whatever kind of paper that you want. You can use a cardstock as well. This one, the one that I'm doing for this tutorial, is using cardstock. But one thing that I found is that if you use designer series paper, it is a lot easier to fold your creases and score your lines, because I guess the paper is thinner than the actual cardstock itself. So you get a little bit more give when you're trying to fold all of your creases on designer series paper. But it still works fabulous on regular cardstock. So what I'm doing now is I am going to go ahead and burnish all of my score lines. So there are 2 on the side. So I'm using my bone folder and I'm just burnishing them like this. And if you look really closely, you'll have those curved. Let's see if I can get in the light. You see that curved line? So with a gentle hand, That's the key for this, the gentle hand. You're going to go around and you're going to burnish that crease. So if you do it too hard, you'll get a lot of wrinkles in your cardstock. And like I mentioned earlier, I didn't have that much problem with the designer series paper. It was a lot easier because it gave a lot better. But the cardstock still works perfect as well. And you're going to do the same for the bottom one as well. Gentle hand. So then it's going to look like this. The pillow box is starting to take form. Now this little flippy floppy here, this little flippy floppy piece, you're going to fold that as well. Now I've seen some people cut this off, but do not cut it off. And I'm going to show you why in a moment. This is going to help you out. It's going to save you time. Alright, so we're going to put that to the side. And then we have one more crease that we have to burnish, and that is for your stocking piece. And this is why it's important to make sure that you put glue on the tips of your pieces, because when you're folding them, they come up a little bit. Alright, so that's good enough. Y'all see that? How it's curved on the inside? I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there you go. Alright, so now we're going to flatten this back out. And the reason why I do this is because it's going to make it easier when you actually tape this to the stocking. And I'll show you how easy it's going to be. So I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but tear tape. Tear tape is what I have found to work really, really well with this project. So all you're going to do is, you see these two flaps here on the side, you're going to put some tear tape along these edges, and then you're going to flip this little flippy floppy thing up like this, and you're going to put a few pieces on this back side, and I'll show you why in a few moments. Alright, so now you have all of the tape put along the sides and on this little flippy floppy piece. Now I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to burnish the tape down a little better, so that way the backing comes off easier. One thing to note here too is when you're applying your tear tape, you want to make sure that you're avoiding that score mark or that crease. And reason being is, once you put it onto your stocking, you don't want glue or adhesive in the places where it shouldn't be, because from experience I've seen that if I'm not careful with the tape, then the back side of the stocking gets really sticky. Or if I'm not careful with the piece that's hanging off. So if you can see right here, there's a little bit of the tape hanging off. What I do is I take my finger and I push the tape, or I go along the edge and I push the tape along, like back on itself. So that way when it's on the inside, I don't have to worry about my treats or my cards and stuff getting stuck to the cardstock because there's glue all over the place. So I'm going to go ahead and take these off. Okay. So one trick that I have come to learn as I'm doing this for easy assembly is I use the stocking to help me out at first. So I do a side at a time. So first I'm going to adhere this side, then I'm going to flip my stocking over and do the right side, and then when I'm done with all that, I'm going to attach the flippy floppy piece right here. And I'll show you real quick how to do this. So here is where I'm going to assemble. Now one thing to keep in mind is when I'm putting this, attaching these together, I want to make sure that this point and this point where these where the score lines go, I want to make sure those are even. Alright, see? You see how it creates that fold? And when I run my finger over this, I don't have to worry about any of the glue coming out. So now it's time to do the other side. So I'm going to lay this down, and then I'm going to do the same, just making sure that this corner here, with where the score lines meet, and this corner here, y'all see that, meet. Alright, so here we have it. We're almost done, guys. So this is the stocking. This is what the pillow box part looks like so far. So one thing I like to do is with a light hand, I like to to squeeze the sides to open it prematurely before I start before I attach this piece to the stocking. So with a light and gentle hand, you're going to push it open. Now, one thing you want to know, you want to be really gentle, especially with the cardstock, because what will happen is, let me see if I got it. All right, so you can see it on this one. If you push it too much, you'll get like cracks in your cardstock. So you really want to have a gentle hand when you're doing this to avoid the creasing. All right, so there we go. So you see, I squeezed it open just a little bit. All right, so now it's time to attach the bottom. Now I've seen people cut this little piece off and then they try to like glue or attach this the bottom part of the pillow box down, and to me that seems like it's not really helpful, because if you have something like little treats that are really heavy, it might just cause them to fall through. So I keep the tab here because when I push it inwards, then this is going to hold the bottom of the pillow box in place. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. So the reason why I told you to crease it earlier along the score line, because it'll be easier for you to put this in position. That is why it's important for you to pre-crease all of your score lines first. All right, so we're going to take off the tape. Actually, before we take off the tape, we're going to demo this real quick. So you're going to squeeze lightly. I'm going to show you how to do this first. Squeeze lightly so that you're opening your box a little bit. Then you're going to take this tab, and I don't know, I'm going to try to get up close so you can see this. You're going to take this tab and you're going to push this piece, the whole bottom piece, inwards. You see that? You see what I did? Let's see if I can get a better look. So you squeeze the box a little bit along the sides, just gentle hand, and then you're going to take this tabby piece, this little flippy floppy piece, and you're going to push it in. You can use your fingers to kind of help you mold the shape of the pillow part of the box. That's fine. So this is basically the effect that we're trying to get before we when we're taping down the little flippy floppy piece onto the stocking. All right, so now that you got an idea, I'm gonna just go ahead and take off my tape. All right, so here we go. We're going to squeeze lightly, push the tab inwards, using our fingers to help mold the bottom of the box before we actually push this little flippy floppy piece onto the cardstock. So it looks good to me. Does it look good to you guys? Looks good. So now we're going to adhere the flippy floppy piece to the stocking. There we go. So see, that'll prevent any little items inside from falling through the stocking. All right. So the last thing that you're going to do is you can either, if you punched a hole in it, you can apply your yarn or your twine or your ribbon here. But if not, then you can just go ahead and close it. So this piece goes in first because it has the little tab thing in it, and then I close the other side. Push these sides down. All right, so here you go. We got it. We're done. Some pillow boxes that you can put gift cards or little treats inside and give them as gifts for Christmas. Man, these things are adorable. Too stinking cute, y'all. Too stinking cute. So let me know in the comments below if this is one of the sets that you have on your wish list. And if so, go ahead and share a picture. I would love to see what kind of creations that you have come up with using the stamp set along with the framelit dies. But other than that, that's all I have for you. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you liked watching this video, be sure to leave a comment, like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to stay up to date on the latest and greatest in the world of the Craft Sergeant and Stampin' Up! News. You'll find a link below with my blog post for this project, along with a free PDF with the measurements, a supply list, and written instructions. Thanks for watching, and happy stamping!